Hi guys, I'm Annabelle Earth.
And I'm Andre Rodrigues.
And this is In 5. And today we have a very special guest, a man of many talents, including acting, producing, and music. Please welcome Keshet Kesh.
Thank you. Lovely to be here. Lovely to meet you
Thanks
guys.
for coming on, Kesh. Appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So how did you get started in music? It seems to be quite a thing with you. You produce videos for it and you also teach as well, as I understand it.
Yeah. I guess I'm a bit of a jack of all trades when it comes to the music or the arts in general, but music is definitely my home, and just started playing guitar as a teenager in high school and joined bands, and eventually was trying to figure out how can I make a living out of it, because that's the problem that we have as musicians. And I think early on I realized that if I'll get into sound design and production, there's a market for that. So fresh out of the army, I just decided to go into that, and then it took off, and I started working in the biggest studios in my country and working with labels and getting into session guitar work and producing other bands. And when I relocated here to West Australia, I tried to sort of increase the tool belt that I had and start doing videos first for me, because it was just cheaper than hiring videographers all the time.
Of course, yeah.
And you just need it's not really just the money, it's also you need like a constant online presence on YouTube and stuff, especially back then, like 10 years ago, when that was the most dominant way that an artist can, because now you've got more options obviously with TikToks and other stuff, but back then YouTube was the thing, and if you just couldn't do it almost on a daily basis, just release content, you were losing your fan base so quickly. So it became something essential, and then I discovered that I've got a knack for that. And Ben started reaching out saying, "Oh, we saw that video. Can you do a video for us?" And then it became a whole business. Now I've got like employees and stuff, and we do videos all the time for a lot of the bands in Perth.
And what's the company name?
It's Keshet Works, because I work all the time.
24/7 at the end.
Pretty much, yeah. And then 2017, I got into the theater industry, and that's sort of been my home ever since. So I still do all the other stuff, but even more so, I'm involved in the theater industry nowadays.
So if you had to pick one,
Yeah,
theater or music?
music. Yeah,
So combining the both.
combining the both is the ultimate for me. It's like can't be any better. Like that's really, it's really. I feel like it's the ultimate art form. Just the theatricality of the performances and the sense of family you have when you work in those big ensembles and stuff. It's so different than band life. I love band life, and I just came back from a tour in Kalgoorlie with one of my bands.
Okay.
So I love that, and it's
one of your band.
yeah. 'Cause I play in a few. That's
Casually, I work in many bands. I'm in that high.
Oh, it's really not glamorous. No. It's more about like musicians. We need any gig we can get to make ends meet, you know. So that's the reality of it. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed that. But it's a whole other ball game. You know, the feeling of you having like 4 people in a band versus you working with 100 people to do a show, and that becomes a family to work with 100 people, you know, for a few months in the theater. So yeah, I think it just stole my heart, and that's why I'm more invested in the theater nowadays.
I know the feeling. I mean, especially when you prepare for theatre and you're practicing 3 times a week, you see these faces, and all of a sudden it stops.
That's right.
You have a little bit of a loss after a while.
Yeah.
But I understand you've managed to combine the two for our upcoming project.
Yes. Yeah. Well, as I said, from 2017, I've done a lot of projects in the theater industry. And right now I'm developing my second opera. So I had an opera already in 2017, which was a lot of fun to produce. And we sold out, and it was great. I think that was sort of my entry into the world of theater. And after that, I just went and worked for other productions that are even bigger. And now I think, coming from all that knowledge of the last few years of working with some of the bigger productions in Perth, we've decided to sort of try and see if we can take it to the next level by creating a very different brand of an opera. So we label it as an opera, but it's not what you would think. It's not singers, you know, that go like that.
No? All right. I could apply, but oh well.
Yeah, I hope that the audio level is okay when I do that. But yeah, it's musically speaking, because we're just talking about music for now. It's a combination of what we call contemporary classical. So it's what you would hear in show tunes and Broadway and musicals like that. Yeah. So, you know, with those big Andrew Lloyd Webber-like scores, you know, with the full orchestra, but also mixed in with Middle Eastern fusion. So we actually have a percussion ensemble, and it just created music that, personally, even I come from the Middle East, and I've never heard music quite like it, because the East meet West on that level with the whole orchestra is crazy. And we got validation for that because we send those charts for orchestras, and they became infatuated with the music because it's very challenging for them to play it, because it's not the phrasing is completely different than what you would get. Yeah, I know that you've seen the single that we've released, because we have a single on YouTube. That one is not a showcase of that fusion, because it's more traditional. It's the love ballad, so that's why it's our single, because everyone can relate to love, you know. But definitely the show itself will release more stuff over the next few months, and it's ridiculous just the how the music keeps you on your toes.
I hope so. I was humming that after watching it for like the next 4 hours. It's very catchy. I'm very proud.
Hopefully when the show comes out, Steve, our director and producer, will send us and we can do a review on the show.
Yeah, we'll hook you up with tickets, and we'll get you guys to see it. Yeah.
You better. Yes. Oh my God, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
When do you think the show might come out, just in case people want to keep an eye out for it?
Yeah, well, the show is named The Holocaust. It's on. You can find us on socials. Facebook is our main domain in terms of how much we update and stuff. There's no date yet because we're still in pre-production, but we're looking on probably staging it in 9 months from now. So it's a while away, but once it's relevant, we'll update everyone, and we'll get the engine firing.
So you've been in this industry for quite some time then, and you're clearly doing
I'm
very
very
well.
old, yeah.
Especially, no, you're not. My gosh. So do you have anyone that you would, like, any advice that you would give to someone sort of thinking about starting out, whether in music or theatre or production or all the amazing, like, ridiculous list of things that you've done? Is any advice you've got?
Oh, yes, definitely. And this is something I say to all my students. So I'm going to say this to you as well. The best thing, and I wish I figured this out when I was much younger, is diversify your talents. That's really the secret to being to have any chance at success. So let's say you don't have to diversify. Like, I really went to town with diversifying my talents, but you don't need to go quite that much. Keep it to your passion, but just don't settle for just the one thing that you're good at. So, for example, let's say that you're a guitar player. Don't stop there. Even if you're the best guitar player, if you're auditioning for a band and it's between you and someone that plays a bit better guitar but can also sing, they probably will take him, because it doesn't even have to be lead vocals, just helping with harmonies in the band. And if you're not comfortable singing, I'm not comfortable singing, right? So so that's okay. If you just learn a bit how to do live mixing for the band, so then a guitar player that can also do the sound for them, no brainer, they'll take that guy. Or if he can record them, or if he's good with video, there's just so many other things you can do. So the more you start to do that, the more opportunities you'll have. And the other thing it also gives you is creative control. So if you're driven and you're a creative guy or woman, right, that creates stuff, then imagine if you don't have to use a graphic designer, because you could design your own logo, or if you don't have to try and hammer down to a sound engineer what's the sound you want for your recording, because you can, what you hear in your head, you can capture something with video. So I find that the more that you diversify your talents, the more the product that you can end up delivering is more what you had in your head.
Where do you see Kesh in the next 10 years?
Well, I'm really hoping that new show, The Holocaust, would sort of be a gateway to producing even more shows and even bigger shows. That show is very special. We won't go into it now because that would be a whole episode, but
we might do a special about it when it comes closer.
Yeah, but that show deals with the Holocaust, and it's very. I'm Jewish and I come from Israel, so it's very important to me, and I feel like we've tackled not only a very important subject, but more importantly, we found a way to make it palatable for younger generations. And that's another thing that we are very passionate about in the team of the Holocaust. That show has a chance to get quite big reach, and we're hoping that on the back of that, we can then keep on doing more interesting shows and creating more. So ideally, in 10 years from now, I have my own production company. I've got Keshet Works, but that's like an indie, so larger scale production company, and we just keep creating art and all sorts of combinations of arts, theater and video art and all sorts of things.
All right, Kesh.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the
Yeah,
show.
thank
We
you
just
for
got the
having me.
signal from the
Oh
director.
yeah, sure. I know I blab a lot. So.
Yeah, no, it's been good having you.
No, it was so great having you. You've got so much amazing things to say, and we'll pop all of those links in the description for Keshet because you really ought to check those out, guys.
That's
We've
right.
got some events too.
We do. So from the 10th to the 26th of July, we have the Genevieve Lacey and Marshall Maguire in concert. You can get their tickets from musicaviva.com.au. The Roxy Lane Theatre performance of Wind in the Willows. The tickets can be purchased through testix.com. And also check out The Dresser by Melville Theatre running from the 2nd to the 17th of July. We also have the last show of The Jungle Book by the Laughing Horse Productions. It's on tomorrow, actually, from 7:30 p.m. And you can get your tickets from drpack.sales. That's a new one.
.ticketsearch.com.
Yeah. We'll search that.
Forget
We'll
the
put the link at
rest
the
of
bottom. Make it easier. And if it's been a while since you've been to a musical, we have Footloose by Art in Motion Theatre Company. They're starting on the 18th and the 19th. And tickets can also be purchased through the link at the bottom.
Hi guys, thank you so much for watching the show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notifications bell to be up to date on all of our content. And please comment below and check out our socials. The descriptions are down below.
We also like to thank our sponsors, Malaga Print and Signs. And for all your social media needs, please contact Karen and Vicki, whose links will be at the bottom of this page as well.
I'm Annabelle Earth,
And I'm Andre Rodrigues.
and this is In 5. Don't forget to tune in next week, guys.
See ya.
See ya.
That's it. Thank you.
All right.
Let's say goodbye. Come on.
I wanted to. Because we've taped an outro, and I always say goodbye, and she goes, "Don't say goodbye." So you can tell
It's a waste of footage and time.